All right, guys, welcome back to tools video number 3. Today on this video, we're going to be working with sauce cup, our sponge, and we're finally going to get to open the clay. So make sure that the space that you're working on is porous, meaning it can let water go through it, because otherwise the clay will stick to your table as you work. A cutting board is a nice surface to work on when you're working with clay. For right now, it's not that big of a deal, but I want you to consider your work surface as we go through the semester. You're going to need your sauce cup, your sponge, and some clay. So go grab you also need a small glass of water. So go grab those items and then rejoin me for slip making, which is a tool. All right, so I have my sauce cup, I have my sponge, I have the lid, and I'm going to need my paintbrush. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of the smaller blocks of clay that you guys have in your bag. Okay. And I'm going to just take a few hunky chunks off of it. You don't need a lot at first. Okay, so I'm going to start with 3 little hunky chunks. Okay. And I'm just going to break it up into tiny little pieces like the size of a pea and put them in my sauce cup. I have a third one in there. Let me go find it. Okay, so I have a little bit of clay in my sauce cup in little hunky chunks. I'm going to take my sponge and put it in my little container of water and saturate it. And then I'm going to squeeze just a little bit of water into my sauce cup, squeeze the rest of my sponge out and set it down. And then your brush is actually a brush for making slip. So you're just going to start stirring, and you're going to start with some brown muddy water. The more you stir and the more you break up the chunks, the closer you get to that yogurt consistency. So you're just going to keep stirring and stirring and stirring. And sometimes you're going to stab and blend. You're going to squish it against the wall. You can even use your finger. See, the liquid's already starting to get a little bit thicker. So you want to make sure that liquid thickens up. And our goal is to get it the consistency of pudding. Just like Dory in Finding Nemo. Just keep stirring, just keep stirring, just keep stirring, stirring, stirring. It doesn't feel like it'll get there, but believe me, it will get there. It just is going to take a little bit of effort. There's going to be a project that we're going to get to called the Coil Vase Project, and it's going to use a lot of slip. So, and this, what we're making is called slip, right? Liquid clay. When we get to that project, you might want to save like a yogurt container, or if you're not actually working on the clay itself, it should be wrapped up in plastic so it doesn't completely dry out. And this is already thickened up quite a bit. It's like a thick buttermilk right now. And the more I stir, the more it thickens and becomes the right consistency. Now your brush is going to get totally destroyed, right? This is not something that we're going to end up painting nice things with. But if you want to try to keep your brush nice, don't jam it. You can squeeze it by the bristles and then wash it at the end of each use. And one trick to keep brushes super nice is after you're done washing it, if you put hair conditioner in it, it actually makes the bristles stay really soft for a long time. Okay, so this is pretty good. There's still a couple chunks, but overall it's pretty good. It's pretty thick. It's not that liquidy anymore. I'm going to just wipe off my fingers a little bit. You know what? I'm going to use my towel, my damp towel. Use my damp towel to wipe my hands, keep myself clean. And then I'm going to take this opportunity to lid my slip, and it'll stay wet and moist in there for a long time. Wash your brush, dry your brush, and then make sure you wash your surface. Okay, so that's tools video number 3. You now have slip, you have a scoring and carving tool, you have a loop tool and writing tool, and you have a knife tool and a blending tool. So these are all the tools we're going to use that I've given you. I do recommend you find an old like gift card. Maybe your parents have an old credit card, an old ID card, because those cards are going to come in really, really handy when we get into some of the other projects. So as you're thinking about making ceramics stuff, I want you to see if you can locate a card to use, because we're going to use that as another tool. All right, I'll see you in the next video.